A shocking enrollment. In the farthest reaches of the known universe, there existed an institution both revered and feared by all spacefaring civilizations, the Galactic Institute of Extreme Survival. This prestigious academy was renowned for its rigorous, often deadly, courses designed to push sentient beings to their absolute limits. Many applied, but few were accepted, and fewer still survived. Professor Zyloff and Qualler, the Institute's most esteemed faculty members, had seen countless species come and go over their long careers. Zyloff, with his 4 tentacular arms and keen intellect, specialized in teaching advanced survival techniques for hostile environments. Qualler, a master of psychological endurance training, was known for her ability to break even the most resilient minds and rebuild them stronger than before. One fateful day, as the twin suns of the Institute's host planet crested the horizon, Zyloff and Qualler found themselves reviewing a most peculiar set of applications. "Humans?" Zyloff queried, his bioluminescent skin flickering with disbelief. "Surely this must be a mistake. They're a primitive species, barely capable of interstellar travel." Qualler's compound eyes narrowed as she scanned the applications. "It appears to be legitimate," she clicked, her mandibles twitching with intrigue. 5 human applicants, each hailing from a different region of their homeworld, Earth. Zyloff's chromatophores flashed a pattern of incredulity. "They won't last a single day in our courses. Their frail bodies and underdeveloped minds are ill-suited for the rigors of extreme survival. The asteroid field navigation exam alone has claimed the lives of far hardier species." Qualler's antennae quivered with contemplation. "Perhaps," she mused, "but I sense there is more to these humans than meets the eye. Their species has survived on a death world for millennia. Against all odds, it would be foolish to dismiss them outright." As the professors debated the merits of human enrollment, a sleek, silver spacecraft pierced the planet's atmosphere, bearing the 5 human applicants toward their destiny. The ship touched down on the Institute's landing pad, and the humans disembarked, their expressions a mix of wonder and determination. Zyloff and Qualler watched from afar, their curiosity piqued by the strange bipedal creatures. The humans were a diverse lot, each with their own unique features and mannerisms. There was Jackson, a tall, muscular male with a confident gait; Zara, a lithe female with piercing eyes and an air of quiet intensity; Rishi, a bespectacled individual with an inquisitive gaze; Nyx, an androgynous figure with an enigmatic smile; and Orion, a compact, wiry male with a mischievous glint in his eye. As the professors approached to greet their new students, they couldn't help but wonder what the future held. Little did they know, these 5 unassuming humans were about to change the very fabric of the Institute, and perhaps the galaxy itself, forever. Orientation bewilderment. The Galactic Institute of Extreme Survival's orientation was an event unlike any other. New students from across the cosmos gathered in the Grand Atrium, a cavernous space filled with holographic displays of the Institute's most perilous courses and the grim statistics of student survival rates. Professor Zyloff and Qualler took the stage, their presence commanding the attention of the diverse crowd. Zyloff's skin shimmered with a spectrum of colors, a display of his authority and experience. Qualler's exoskeleton gleamed under the atrium's artificial light, her compound eyes scanning the room with an intensity that sent shivers down the spines of many students. "Welcome to the Galactic Institute of Extreme Survival," Zyloff began, his voice a resonant boom that filled the atrium. "You are here because you are among the best and brightest your species has to offer. But make no mistake, the challenges that await you will test your very will to live." As Zyloff spoke of the dangers and the Institute's formidable reputation, Qualler's keen senses noted a peculiar reaction from the human students. Where most of the other species showed signs of apprehension or even fear, the humans seemed to be excited. Jackson, the tall human male, leaned over to his compatriot, Zara, and whispered, "This is going to be epic. I can't wait to see what they throw at us." Zara, her eyes glinting with a fierce determination, nodded in agreement. We've trained for this. Whatever challenges they have in store, we'll face them head-on. Rishi, Nyx, and Orion, too, seemed to be brimming with anticipation rather than trepidation. Their reactions did not go unnoticed by their alien classmates, who regarded the humans with a mix of curiosity and disbelief. As the orientation continued, Xyloth and Qualler detailed the grueling curriculum that awaited the students, from survival courses in simulated black hole environments to psychological endurance tests. In the face of unspeakable horrors, the Institute's offerings were not for the faint of heart. Yet, as each new challenge was unveiled, the humans' enthusiasm only seemed to grow. They whispered among themselves, speculating about the thrills and opportunities for growth that each course presented. Qualar, intrigued by the humans' unusual response, approached them during a break in the orientation. "You five seem remarkably unperturbed by the dangers that lie ahead," she observed, her mandibles clicking with curiosity. Orion, the compact human with the mischievous smile, replied, "Where we come from, danger is a part of life. We face down everything from natural disasters to global conflicts. This institute is just another challenge for us to overcome." Qualler's antennae twitched with surprise at the human's bold statement. "I admire your confidence, but do not underestimate the trials that await you. Many have entered these halls with similar bravado, only to meet their demise." Undeterred, Nyx, the enigmatic human, smiled serenely. "We understand the risks, Professor, but we also know our own strength. We're here to learn, to grow, and to push ourselves to the very limits of what we thought possible." As the orientation drew to a close, Xyloth and Qualler exchanged a meaningful glance. The humans were an enigma, their behavior defying all expectations. As the students dispersed to begin their studies, the professors couldn't shake the feeling that these 5 humans were about to shake the very foundations of the Galactic Institute of Extreme Survival. Little did they know just how right they were. Unconventional tactics. The first true test of the students' mettle came in the form of the asteroid field navigation exam. The objective was simple: traverse a treacherous asteroid belt riddled with dark matter mines, using only wit, skill, and a basic starship. Many had attempted this trial. Few had emerged unscathed. As the students prepared for the exam, the human crew, Jackson, Zara, Rishi, Nyx, and Orion, huddled together, discussing strategies and contingency plans. Their alien classmates looked on with a mix of curiosity and concern, wondering how these fragile-looking beings could possibly hope to survive such an ordeal. Professor Xyloth, observing from the Institute's command center, was equally skeptical. He watched the view screens intently, his skin flickering with anticipation as the ships entered the asteroid field. The human ship, christened the Icarus, dove headlong into the fray, its movements erratic and unpredictable. Xyloth's eyes widened as he realized the humans were using the asteroids themselves as cover, weaving between them in a dizzying dance that left the mine's tracking systems confused and ineffective. "Impossible," Xyloth muttered, his tentacles coiling with disbelief. "They're using the environment to their advantage, turning a weakness into a strength." As the Icarus navigated deeper into the field, the other ships began to falter. One by one, they fell victim to the mines, their hulls breached and their crews left to the mercy of the unforgiving vacuum of space. Yet the humans pressed on, their ship dancing through the debris with a grace that belied its battered exterior. Rishi, at the helm, directed the Icarus with a deft touch, while Zara and Orion worked to keep the ship's systems running against all odds. In the end, the Icarus emerged from the asteroid field battered but unbroken, the only ship to successfully complete the exam. Xyloth, stunned and intrigued, found himself reassessing his initial judgment of the humans. The next trial, a survival course in the heart of a hostile jungle filled with psychic predators, only served to further showcase the humans' unconventional approach. Where other students attempted to avoid detection or confront the beasts head-on, the humans employed a different strategy entirely. Nyx, with her enigmatic smile and uncanny ability to connect with otherworldly beings, took the lead. She reached out with her mind, attempting to communicate with the predators, to understand their motivations and desires. To the astonishment of all, the predators began to respond. They became docile, even protective of the human crew, guiding them through the jungle's most treacherous depths. Professor Qualler, observing the proceedings, found herself at a loss for words. In all my years, I have never seen such a display of interspecies communication. These humans possess a rare gift, an ability to bridge the gap between the known and the unknown. As the humans emerged from the jungle, their classmates looked upon them with a newfound respect. The professors, too, found themselves questioning their long-held beliefs about the nature of survival and the limits of sentient potential. The humans, for their part, simply smiled and prepared for the next challenge. They had come to the Galactic Institute of Extreme Survival to learn, to grow, and to push themselves to the very brink of what was possible. And they were just getting started. Breaking boundaries. As the academic term reached its midpoint, the students of the Galactic Institute of Extreme Survival found themselves faced with the most daunting challenge yet: the midterm exams. These grueling tests were designed to push the students to their very limits, both physically and mentally. The centerpiece of the exams was a simulation of a black hole's accretion disk, a swirling maelstrom of superheated gas and crushing gravitational forces. The human crew, having already defied expectations time and again, approached the exams with a mix of excitement and determination. Their alien classmates, many of whom had come to admire and even emulate the humans' unconventional tactics, looked to them for guidance and inspiration. As the students entered the simulation chamber, Professor Zoiloff and Qualler watched from the control room, their curiosity and anticipation palpable. The black hole simulation was the ultimate test, a challenge that had broken even the most promising of students in the past. The chamber doors sealed, and the simulation began. The students found themselves in the heart of the accretion disk, their ships buffeted by the relentless forces of gravity and heat. Many began to falter almost immediately, their ships torn apart by the savage environment. But the Icarus, piloted by the human crew, held steady. Rishi, with his keen intellect and unflappable demeanor, worked to keep the ship's systems stable. Zara and Orion, their reflexes honed by countless hours of training, maneuvered the ship through the treacherous currents of the accretion disk. Jackson and Nyx, meanwhile, focused on the mental challenges of the simulation. The black hole's extreme conditions played havoc with the mind, inducing hallucinations and testing the very fabric of sanity. But Jackson and Nyx, drawing upon their own inner strength and the bond they had forged with their crewmates, managed to keep their minds clear and focused. As the simulation reached its climax, the Icarus emerged from the accretion disk intact, a feat that left even Professor Zoiloff and Qualler in awe. The human crew, exhausted but exhilarated, had not only survived but thrived in the face of the ultimate test. In the aftermath of the exams, the professors found themselves questioning everything they had once believed about the nature of survival and the limits of sentient potential. The humans, with their ingenuity, resilience, and indomitable spirit, had shattered preconceived notions and rewritten the very rules of the Institute. The other students, inspired by the human success, began to approach their own studies with a newfound sense of determination and creativity. They looked to the human crew as mentors, eager to learn from their unique perspectives and unconventional strategies. As the term progressed, the Institute began to change, slowly at first, but with gathering momentum. The curriculum, once rigid and unyielding, began to incorporate elements of the human's approach. Professor Zoiloff and Qualler, humbled and inspired by their experiences with the human crew, became advocates for a more adaptable, inventive approach to extreme survival. The boundaries that had once defined the Galactic Institute of Extreme Survival were crumbling, giving way to a new era of exploration, discovery, and boundless potential. And at the center of it all were 5 remarkable humans who had come to the Institute as students but emerged as something far greater, pioneers of a new frontier. The final frontier. As the academic term drew to a close, the students of the Galactic Institute of Extreme Survival stood on the precipice of their greatest challenge yet, the final exam. This legendary test was the stuff of nightmares, a gauntlet of unimaginable horrors and impossible odds that had never been fully completed by any student in the Institute's history. The exam was a closely guarded secret, its details known only to the professors and the unfortunate souls who had attempted it in the past. Rumors swirled among the student body, tales of eldritch abominations, mind-bending spatial anomalies, and terrors beyond the comprehension of mortal minds. As the human crew, Jackson, Zara, Rishi, Nyx, and Orion, prepared for the final exam, they did so with a grim determination that had become their hallmark. They had come so far, defied so many expectations, and now stood on the brink of a challenge that would define not only their time at the Institute, but perhaps their very legacy. The day of the exam dawned, and the human crew found themselves standing before the entrance to the final exam chamber. Professor Xyloth and Qualar, their expressions a mix of anticipation and trepidation, looked on as the crew steeled themselves for what lay ahead. "Remember," Jackson said, his voice a low rumble, "we've faced the impossible before, and we've come out stronger for it. Whatever lies beyond those doors, we face it together." With a final nod, the crew stepped forward, and the chamber doors sealed behind them. The final exam had begun. What followed was a blur of chaos, a maelstrom of horrors that defied description. The crew found themselves beset on all sides by nightmarish creatures, their very sanity threatened by the mind-warping effects of the exam's challenges. But through it all, the humans persevered. They drew upon every ounce of their training, every hard-won lesson, every unconventional tactic they had mastered. Jackson's leadership, Zora's fierce determination, Rishi's brilliant mind, Nyx's uncanny intuition, and Orion's indomitable spirit. All of these qualities shone through in the face of the exam's relentless onslaught. There were moments of despair, of near defeat, but always the crew found a way to push through. They adapted, improvised, and overcame, their bond and their shared resolve carrying them through the darkest of trials. And then, against all odds, they emerged victorious, battered, bruised, and forever changed, but alive and triumphant. They had done the impossible, conquered the unconquerable, and in so doing, they had redefined the very meaning of extreme survival. As the crew stumbled from the final exam chamber, they were greeted by a stunned silence. Professor Xyloth and Qualar, their eyes wide with disbelief and awe, could only stare. Paradigm shift. In the aftermath of the final exam, the Galactic Institute of Extreme Survival was a changed place. The human crew's unprecedented achievement had sent shockwaves throughout the Institute, and indeed, the entire galaxy. Professor Xyloth and Qualar, humbled and inspired by the humans' triumph, found themselves reassessing everything they had once believed about the nature of survival and the potential of sentient life. The humans, with their resilience, adaptability, and unyielding spirit, had challenged the very foundations of the Institute's philosophy. As the graduation ceremony approached, the Institute was abuzz with excitement and speculation. The human crew had become living legends, their deeds whispered about in the halls and classrooms, inspiring a new generation of students to push the boundaries of what was possible. On the day of the ceremony, the grand atrium was filled to capacity, with students, faculty, and dignitaries from across the galaxy gathering to witness the historic moment. As Jackson, Zara, Rishi, Nyx, and Orion took the stage, the crowd erupted into thunderous applause. Professor Xyloth, his skin shimmering with pride and emotion, addressed the assembled crowd. "Today, we honor 5 individuals who have redefined what it means to be a survivor," he began, his voice resonating through the atrium. "These humans, through their courage, ingenuity, and unwavering determination have shown us that the limits we once placed on ourselves are nothing more than illusions. As Xylos spoke, Qualler looked out over the sea of faces, her compound eyes glistening with a newfound understanding. "The human crew has taught us a valuable lesson," she said, her mandibles clicking with conviction. "Survival is not just about enduring, but about thriving in the face of adversity. It is about adapting, innovating, and finding strength in the bonds we forge with others." The human crew, standing tall and proud, listened to the professor's words with a mix of humility and gratitude. They had come to the Institute as students, but they had emerged as something far greater, ambassadors of the indomitable human spirit. As the ceremony drew to a close, Jackson, the crew's leader, stepped forward to address the crowd. "When we first arrived at the Galactic Institute of Extreme Survival," he began, his voice filled with emotion, "we were told that we would face challenges beyond our wildest imaginations. And we did. But what we discovered, in the face of those challenges, was the true depth of our own strength and the unbreakable bonds of our fellowship." Zara, Rishi, Nyx, and Orion nodded in agreement, their eyes shining with the memories of all they had endured and overcome. "We came here to learn," Zara said, her voice clear and strong. "But in the end, we also taught. We showed that the human spirit is a force to be reckoned with, a light in the darkness that can never be extinguished." As the crew looked out over the crowd, they saw the faces of their alien classmates, once filled with doubt and skepticism, now shining with admiration and respect. They saw the professors, their mentors and guides, looking upon them with a newfound sense of camaraderie and shared purpose. And they saw the future, stretching out before them like an infinite horizon, a future in which the lessons they had learned and the bonds they had forged would carry them to new heights, new frontiers, and new adventures. For the human crew, the Galactic Institute of Extreme Survival had been a crucible, a trial by fire that had tested them in ways they could never have imagined. But it had also been a catalyst, a spark that had ignited a flame within them, a flame that would light their way as they ventured forth into the vast, wondrous expanse of the universe. As the crew stepped off the stage, ready to embark on the next chapter of their journey, they did so with the knowledge that they had left an indelible mark on the Institute and the galaxy itself. They had proven, beyond any doubt, that the human spirit was a force to be reckoned with, a beacon of hope and resilience in a universe filled with wonders and terrors alike. And so, as the human crew set forth into the unknown, they did so with hearts full of courage, minds alight with possibilities, and the unshakable belief that no matter the challenges that lay ahead, they would always find a way to thrive. For they were human, and the universe was theirs to explore.